Welcome to Hometown Homepages, the series where we give small business websites a much-needed facelift using my favorite website builder, Webflow. I'm Maddie, and in this season, we're making over homepages from my town, Littleton, Colorado. This is episode 3, InTea. They literally have so many different teas in there. It's like really hot today, but usually I like to get like something really herbal and like pour it in the little teapot. I think it's so cute. But for today, this was perfect. All right, now that you've seen the inside and tried out the tea, what are your first impressions on the site?
It's okay. It's a little bit dull. I don't love the gray. I mean, the shop itself is really cool and vibrant, and the website doesn't really match up with that.
I would have to agree, and so would most of the folks that I surveyed about this page. Out of 82 people, only 33% had any interest in visiting the shop. Just like Jake, people really didn't like the gray background, and I also think that that green primary brand color is just too green. For a tea shop, it needs to look more natural and earthy. Another common criticism is that too many things are going on at once and competing for attention. We can definitely fix that with some intentional hierarchy in our design. A few people mentioned that the hero images aren't believable. What I think they mean by that is that they look like stock images or images totally unrelated to the brand. Since I'm not doing any product photography for this makeover, we will still be using stock images, but we're gonna find ones that feel a lot more authentic and on brand. Someone even mentioned that the site immediately made them think of cannabis instead of tea, which made me laugh, and we're definitely gonna need to fix that. Okay, you know the drill by now. Let's do some quick sketching before we dive into Figma to really design this out. So in looking at their site now, there's definitely a lot of content on the homepage, and a lot of it I really like. It's just the design of it that I do not so much jive with. So like we were saying earlier, I think the most impressive thing about this business is how many teas they have in store and online. For, you know, a small business in a local town, it's really impressive and really fun to go in and look at all of the different teas. So I think I want to call attention to that. So I'm thinking we kind of split this up in two. We can have an image on this side here, just like quickly sketching out like an image of a teacup. And over here, we could actually have, you know, maybe the logo. And then I think it said they have, over 170 teas. So I'll just, you know, come up with a nice statement for that. That's really big to kind of call attention to it. And then we can just state under there exactly what they have, like what do they offer in store and things like that. You know, maybe we have the menu up here. And then over here, maybe we're sort of calling out what one of these different types of teas are. So, you know, maybe this one is like an herbal mint or something. And we can call out what that is and maybe do like a buy now button or something like that. So I think this will be cool. We haven't done sort of a half and half layout yet in Webflow, so I think that'll be fun. Next, on their current site, they have like where their teas can be purchased, which I like that. And so we're just gonna have maybe like a logo page for that, or a logo section that shows all of those. They have testimonials on their site, which maybe that's important to them, and that's why they have them on there. So I'm gonna do a testimonial here. And then below that, I want to do some actual product. So we'll do that with add to cart buttons below. Then kind of running out of room, so I'm gonna make this smaller. But I know that they do like private parties and stuff, so maybe if we did, you know, just a little blurb about that with like a photo of people, you know, doing a tea party or whatever, that could be kind of fun. And then below that, we'll do a nice footer where we can show, you know, maybe a map and all of that good information. And maybe we'll do an email list for them as well, and just like all those links and such. So yeah, I think that we're ready to take this into Figma. Okay, so the first thing I did was rethink this logo a little bit. It's just not my favorite, so I'm just pasting this in from Illustrator, and we're gonna go from there. You can see I kind of took this idea that they have of, you know, the leaf growing and put it in the N. Very simple. This is not a logo design project, but yeah, I think that will work better than this personally. So from there, let's kind of figure out how we want to do this. Looking at my sketch, and I think I'm going to bring in a couple of icons and images and start to get this first section going. Okay, now we can throw in that logo section I was talking about, where they, you know, have their teas kind of all around town. So find our teas at, what? Oh, I'm on Font Awesome. That's funny. Find our teas featured at. I'm just gonna throw in the logos that I sourced and made white. All right, there are quite a few sections here, so I'm gonna design this out and I will see you guys in a sec.
2 hours later.
Okay, this is a long one, but I'm really liking how this is coming along. I think that the colors are perfect for a tea shop. And yeah, I managed to source some really nice photos from Unsplash, so I'm excited to build this one out in Webflow. For this hero, I was able to use the grid in Webflow, which helped so much. So I just made it kind of like a half and half grid with 1 row, 2 columns, and that worked really well to be able to have this image on the right and then some text on the left. In order to get this nav to layer on top of the content behind it, I gave it a z-index of 1. What z-index does is it just brings something back or forward between the values of 1 and -1. Something else that I learned was how to do text span styling. So you can actually give like specific words or lines within a text box a different styling, like a background color, for example, like I did here, by adding a text span. So you can add a text span to any word and then it will create a new class and you can use whatever styles you want within that class. Okay, now it's time for the big reveal. After just 1 day working on this, we have a site that's 1,000 times better, in my opinion, at least. I really hope that you enjoyed following along on this process. In the next episode, we'll be transforming the homepage of my absolute favorite antique mall here in Colorado. They're known not just for their antiques and vendors, but also for their world famous root beer floats. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. You're not gonna wanna miss it, and I'll see you really soon. Bye.